Welcome back, students. In the third unit, that is project organizational structure and its issues. In last lecture, we have seen the definition of organizational structure means how actually organizational structure is, how to form an organizational structure in a particular business or particular project while managing that particular project. What are the different components they are related for forming an organizational structure in the particular project. After that, we have seen different uses or different what we can advantages of this particular project organizational structure here. Now let's move to the next point, that is types of organizational structure. As we have seen yesterday, there are 4 types of organizational structure. Now let us go in detail in all of the organizational structures. The first type of organizational structures is functional structure. In this functional structure, organizations are divided into specialized groups with specific roles and duties. A functional structure that is also known as a bureaucratic organizational structure and is commonly found in small to medium sized businesses. Okay, most people in a workforce have experience working in this type of organizational structure. For example, many companies divide their organization into various departments such as finance, marketing and human resources, so that by dividing that different departments, it means that they are forming different structures in that particular organization. Each of these department then has a manager who oversees all the things regarding to that particular department. This manager is then supervised by an administrator or executive who oversees the multiple departments. It means that, in short, we can say that in a functional organizational structure, you will find the components of a hierarchy system where authority driven decisions on budget, schedule, and equipment rest on the shoulders of the functional managers. The functional managers are who possesses a significant level of expertise in that particular field. That is how this functional organizational structure is formed, or how this in the organization structure the functional type works. That is so. That is to say that the project manager in this type of organization has little to no authority here. In some functional organization, that positions does not exist here. Project organize in the that particular functional organizational structure, project manager, this position does not exist because the particular departments are divided into number of different departments and they work for that particular department. What you will find here is that work is broken down into departments such as human resources department, sales department, finance department, as we have seen now, public relations, administration, etc. So that there is no need of project manager. The particular manager for that particular there are different managers for different department. That's why no need of this project manager. In simple terms, we can say that it can be likened to that of the more traditional company where staff is presided over by a supervisor based on their functions within the organization, and communication that is most often done through the department heads to the senior management. What is fascinating here about this type of organizational structure is that the employees that appear to be more skilled in their respective departments, thereby leading to the great work efficiency. Everyone knows who to hold accountable if something went to go wrong, as responsibilities are predefined. That's why everything will be understood by the people, what are the different responsibilities given to them. On the another side, we can say that the work that may be monotonous over time, which could result in less enthusiasm and reduced loyalty to the organization. In addition to that, you say that a cross departmental communication becomes poor and high level of risk can occur here. Here we can see some of the examples for these functions within the company, that are advertising, engineering, human resources, manufacturing, all of this. In a functional organization, every employee that is positioned within only one functions and has one manager only, they have to whom they have to report. that is the functional manager. The functional manager assigns and manages the employees' work and handles administrative tasks such as employee compensations. This is how this particular functional structure of an organizational structure work, in which the particular structure or particular organization is divided into number of sub departments, and each department is the particular each department, they are having the functional manager for different departments, to whom the peoples who are working under that particular department will be reporting to that particular functional manager. Let us see some of the advantages of the functional structure. Some of the advantages are employees grouped by skill. Some of the employees are grouped by skill, means if we are forming a function, this particular functional organizational structure, and we are forming different branches for different work, the in that particular branch the skilled employees are taken into that branch, means related to that particular branch, the skilled people who are skilled in that particular field, they will be taken to that particular group. Greater scene of teamwork can be formed in a greater way, because they have to work in a team for the one purpose only, not for all the purposes. Here are some of the disadvantages that we will see. Lack of communication with other departments, because of that there will be no communication in between that two departments. Unhealthy competition. Okay, there is no competition to the, because there is lack of communication, no competition will be with other departments, and there will be less performance of the people, and different management issues will also arise here. Okay, getting the concept of functional organizational structure, how this organizational structure is formed, what are the responsibilities, and what are the different members of this particular structure, that is project manager, different staffs, different team leaders, different team persons, and all of that regarding functional structure. We have seen some of the advantages and disadvantages of this functional structure of organization structure. Let's move to the second type of an organizational structure, that is divisional structure. In a divisional structure, various teams work alongside each other towards a single common goal. There are number of teams are divided into number, teams are divided, but they work together for a particular common goal. Each of these divisions has its own executive who manages how that particular branch operates, controls its budget, and allocates its resources. Also, that particular executive, there is a, as we have seen in the functional management functional structure, there is a project particular project functional manager. Okay, there is a functional management, just like that here is a person, he is named as an executive, he manages everything regarding to that particular division or branch. He controls all the budgets, all the resources regarding to the branch. Large companies employees this type of organizational structure, they use this type of organizational structure. One example of this divisional structure is a car company that separates their company by SUV, electric or sedan vehicle branches. While each branch has its own function, they all work towards the same goal of making a sale of a car. This is also known as a multi-divisional structure. Okay, getting what is this divisional structure? In this, all the people work for a same goal. In the functional management, the goal was not same, they were working for different goals. Okay, here they are working for the same goal ultimately, but they are working together. Also, different tasks are given to the different peoples, but they are working for a same goal. Let us see some of the advantages and disadvantages of this divisional structure. Focuses on single good or services. More centralized leadership is provided here in divisional structure. Now let us see some of the disadvantages, that is poor integration with other divisions, competition between the divisions, lack of communication between the divisions, and potential tax implication. This is also an issue here regarding to the divisional structure. This is all about the divisional structure. In this organizational structure, what are the things they are good regarding this divisional structure, and what are the disadvantages that are not good things regarding this divisional structure. Let's discuss the next point on this flattery. This is the third type of organizational structure. In this flattery, there are little to no levels of management. A company that is using this structure that could have only one manager in between its executing and all other employees. It is called as flattery because it is a hybrid of hierarchy and a flat organization T. This type of organizational structure is used more by a smaller company since they have fewer employees through it, though it can be used in companies of all the sizes. While some companies grow out of this organizational structure, other continue to use it. In short, we can say that this particular flattery organized structure or organizational structure is a complete opposite to the functional organizational structure, even though the organizations may still group staff according to their work function. In this particular case of the flattery management, team structure is organized in such a way that the project manager has a project authority. He has jurisdiction over the project's budget, schedule, and all other project plans. Okay, or project plans and project team members or project team leaders. One would find him at the top of the hierarchical structure, calling all other shots, with employees playing supporting roles for the project. At the end of the project team members are released and resources directed towards more relevant areas. What's great about this particular structure is that there is a clear established line of authority resulting in faster decision making and approvals, communication that becomes very easier and more effective, and project team members gain more experience working on different types of projects as the need for them arise. Okay, getting this concept of this organizational structure flattery, let's see some of the advantages and disadvantages of this type of organizational structure. Advantages are it is cost efficient, foster good communication. There is a very good communication in between the manager particular and team members, team leaders, and all other workers. They work under the team leaders. High employee moral and fast decision making is also is done in this particular because there is a good communication in between the people. Some of the advantages are potential employee conflict and leadership confusion. Okay, the major disadvantage of this particular type of organizational structure, we can say that, however, it would be that employees could see themselves being under a lot of pressure most of the time, especially if they happen to work on multiple projects at the same time. This often leads to poor communication amongst the team members as everyone is left more or less playing catch up for the purpose of different projects. This is the type of flattery organizational structure. Let's see the fourth type of organizational structure, that is matrix organizational structure. In the matrix style of organizational structure, employees are divided into teams that report to other managers, report to two managers, a project manager and product manager, along with the functional manager also. In essence, a matrix structure is a combination of various organizational structures because these teams have two managers. A matrix structure promotes duality and the sharing of resources. The employees they are working for companies using the matrix structure have the potential to widen their skill set since they might be assigned to various projects they are requiring different levels of expertise or skills. It means that this particular matrix organizational structure, they blend features of project based and functional based organization structure. They blend different features of the two types of organizational structure and they form a new type, that is matrix organizational structure. The key challenge with the matrix organization is that every employee has two or more managers they have to report. They are functional manager, project manager, and other team leader. If they are working on multiple projects, they may have even more managers to report for a different project. For multiple projects, for one project they are reporting to the project manager, functional manager, team leader. For second they are reporting to the another one. Here, this matrix organizational structure is divided into three types of organization structure. Means we can classify it into three types: so weak matrix, balanced matrix, and strong matrix. These are the three types of this matrix organization. Now, the matrix organizational structure that can be found lying somewhere between the functional organizational structure and the projectorized organizational structure depending on what type of matrix structure is being run over there. For instance, we can say that the strong matrix organizational structure had some similarities with that of the projectized organizational structure, in the sense that project manager is responsible for a project. If the organization is running a weak matrix structure, then the project authority would fall to the hands of functional manager, as it is in a functional organization. Okay, getting this? Interestingly, we can say that it is enough in a balanced matrix organization, both the project manager and functional manager shares equal authority for their project. It means that in that particular strong matrix organizational structure, all the peoples have to report to the project manager, means all the authorities and responsibilities, they are in the hand of the only one person, that is project manager. But in case of weak management or weak organizational structure, we can say that then people have to report to the functional manager as well as the project manager also. If an organization that finds itself working in a dynamic environment, then this might be a right structure to run with it, and it promotes greater efficiency, helping the organization respond to customer demands or changes in the marketplace faster than other. This is easily achieved because, means this type of matrix structure that is easily achieved because while the project managers exhibit project authority in a horizontal manner, the functional manager does so in a vertical manner, following the downwards. For example, the project manager that could be responsible for handling the project schedule or budget, while the functional manager would be responsible for outlining and distribution responsibilities, overseeing the performances of the equipment. Means the whatever the responsibility, they are divided into the project manager and functional manager. One is going horizontally, one is going vertically, so that different tasks can be that particular different task can be control, or that can be seen, or the responsibilities for that task can be seen by the project manager as well as the functional manager, so that there will be increase in the efficiency of the work, there will be increase in the working in a given deadline. Now, let us discuss the types of this matrix organizational structure. First was weak matrix. What is actually the weak matrix here? A weak matrix organizational structure that maintains many of the features of the functional organizational structures. The role of the project manager is more that of the project coordinator. The ability to make or enforced decision is low, and most of the authority remains with the functional manager here in the weak matrix, so that the people have to decide to whom they have to, or they have to report to the two managers, that is functional manager and project manager as well. The second type of matrix structure, that is balanced matrix. In this balanced matrix, a balanced matrix organization structure, it recognizes the need of project manager. However, the project manager that does not have full authority over the project staff and project budget. The third type of this matrix structure is that a strong matrix. A strong matrix organizational structure that has many of the features of the projectized organizational structure. They have full-time project managers and project administrative staff. Project managers have considerable authority over the project in this organizational structure. Okay, getting what are the different types of matrix structure: balanced matrix, weak matrix, and strong matrix. These are the three types of matrix structure. We have seen in detail what are the different three matrix structures. Now let's discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages of the matrix structure. In advantages, it fosters open dialogues, flexible workplace environment is provided here. But in the disadvantages, we can say that leadership confusion, because in this particular type of matrix structure, organizational structure, there are two leaders. One is functional manager and the project manager, so that there can be the confusion between the people, between the workers, whom to report or whom to discuss with the different problems regarding to the project. Conflicting leadership loyalties, potentially it is more costly because they have to manage the functional, they have to hire the functional manager and project manager as well. That's why it is a more costly. The roles, they may not be clearly defined by, because there are two types of managers roles. One manager is defining, second manager can be defining in a different way. That's why then can be confusion between the defining roles that cannot be clearly defined by the two managers. Potentially heavy employee workload is present over the matrix structure. This is all about the different types of organizational structure, in which first we have seen the functional organizational structure, second is divisional organizational structure, third is flatterchi organizational structure, and last was matrix structure, in which we have seen three structures: weak matrix, strong matrix, and balanced matrix. And advantages of each and every type, advantages and disadvantages of all these types we have discussed here. Now, let us discuss one important point: how the organizational structure that influences the project management. Means, by forming this organizational structure, how the project management is influenced because of this organizational structure. Okay, in this, two of the key project aspects they are affected by the organizational structure types are project manager authority and resource availability. Okay, these are the two important components or important points we have to discuss. What are the different things there, what is the organizational structure that is affecting on these 2 points. As you move across the spectrum of functional to matrix to project based organizational structure types, the organizations will move forward favoring ongoing operations to favoring the projects. Here in this type, as a project manager, you will have limited positional authorities in this type of organization. You will need to rely on a expert authority and a referent authority to get project tasks completed. Because of this, you will need to develop your influencing and negotiating skills if you want to be successful. From a resource availability perspective, you will be dependent on the functional managers in your organization for the purpose of providing you with the resources. In this case, the project resources that will report indirectly to the particular project manager. On the next, on the other side, we can say that project based organization, as a project manager you will have more positional authorities. The further right your project sits on the spectrum, this doesn't mean that you can just command others, but you will have more formal authorities for getting project tasks completed. From the resource availability perspective, you will also have greater control over your project resources, since they will be more likely to directly report to you and not to a functional manager. Understanding what type of organizational structure is used by your company will help you to determine how you would or you should manage your particular project. Okay, getting all the types of this organizational structure in detail. Now let us discuss the next point: what is actually a project leader and what are the roles and responsibilities of the particular project leader. Okay, it's easy to confuse project leaders with the project managers. Okay, we can get confusion between two: what is project manager and what is project leader. Depending on organizational structure, managers and leaders roles and responsibilities may overlap to some extent. Regardless, there's a key difference between the two roles. While project managers are focused on the bigger picture, project deadline, managing schedules, and progress reports, project leaders are on the ground motivating the project teams. An expert within their fields, a project leader can effectively make plans that support project goals and lead their team to perform efficiently. An exceptional project leader is respective to the feelings of their team members. They work diligently to keep their team engaged, motivated, and focused on the task at the hand. A successful project manager that will inspire their team, encourage creativity, and foster the collaborative work environment to exceed the project goals. It means that the particular team leader make different plans for the purpose of supporting the project goals and the particular leaders of the team. Okay, the project leader, they are also responsible for getting the feelings of their team members. Are they working properly or not? Are they working within the deadline, considering the deadline or not? Are they considering the budget of the work or not? Everything that can be understood by the project leader, while project manager is responsible for the different things. He is responsible for managing that particular project. Okay, he is responsible for different deadlines of the project, for the schedule of the project, what task to be done within that particular deadline, and different project reports regarding the project. This is how there is a difference between the project leader and a project manager. Okay, now let us discuss some of the roles and responsibilities of the project leader. The project leader work with departmental heads, managers, and other stakeholders to develop team goals and delegate tasks to the appropriate team members, develop team schedules, and assist in a successful onboarding and training to team members. They create and communicate a clear list of expectations and goals for team members to follow. They offer emotional support to the project team members and make people feel valued at the organization. They maintain fluent communication to offer the encouragement, a main task, and provide updates on goal progress. They implement incentives to keep the team motivated and focused on their daily task project goals. Means this particular project leader, he is having communication in between the upper management and lower people also. Means he will be having a clear communication with the people. They are working for the project. He will be giving a clear idea to the workers about the expectations they are having from the people they are working there. What are the deadlines of the particular project? He will again schedule the he will again make a schedule of the team members. He will be checking if all the team members are well trained or not. If they are not trained, he will check for the proper training of the different people they are working over that particular project. He will be also responsible for emotionally growth of the team members they are working there. Okay, then and then only the people working there, they will be working in a proper manner. He will also maintain a fluent communication for the purpose of maintaining the communication between the people and for growth of the people. He will also implement the incentives to the team members for the purpose of motivating them and for making them to focus on the work and getting efficient, increasing the efficiency of the people they are working over the task. Again, a project leader, he will provide a frequent feedback on employee performance, address weaknesses or inefficiencies, and other support to improve the skill gap. Means after the work is done by the different members of the team, the frequent feedback regarding their work will be given by the team leader. Okay, so that if there are some of the weaknesses of the people, they will work over that. If weaknesses, if there is some of the inefficiencies in the work, if they are not having some skill gaps for the purpose of work, they people will work on that particular thing. They will work on their weaknesses, inefficiencies. They will increase their efficiency. They will remove their weaknesses. They will work on that particular thing, and they will improve the skills they are needed for the purpose of completing that task under the particular project. This thing is also done by a project leader. Next thing, a project leader or next role or responsibility of a project leader is that nurturing collaboration amongst the team members. This is also very much needed for the purpose of having good communication and having a good work, good teamwork in between the people. He will create a workspace that encourages the creativity and innovations to get the most out of them. Means at the workspace, the project leader will encourage the different skills of the different people, see different innovating ideas of the people that will help ultimately for the purpose of completion of the project, and so that there will be increase in efficiency, and there will be the particular person, team leader, can get so much from the people, and that will be very much beneficial for the project success. Next thing, or next role or responsibility of a project leader is quickly and effectively resolves team conflicts. It means that if there are some of the conflicts in the team, there are some of the problems in the team, the person will be responsible for solving that conflicts effectively and in a quick manner, so that it will not affect the completion of the project, deadline of the project, or all other things regarding the project. The next thing we have to do is write project reports as necessary. Whatever the things that are necessary to be documented in the project report, that will be enlisted by the project leader, and he will collect all the information regarding to that, all the information regarding the component, different resources, different peoples, and everything comes under a project report that will be done in a proper manner by a project leader, because he is responsible for all the things regarding the project, and he will be able to write it in a proper way, because he is the communication medium between the people they are working and upper management. The project leader next will reward team members for their continued efforts and celebrate accomplishments. Okay, he will reward the team members for continued efforts. The team members, they are working in a good manner. They are giving their good efforts for the purpose of completing the project. For that purpose, he will be giving rewards to the people, so that people will get more motivated for working in an efficient way, for giving the good efforts for the purpose of completing the project. And he will also celebrate the different accomplishments of the people or the team members regarding to the project, so that they will again get motivated for by all this respect they are gaining from the team leader. This is an important point here, the responsibilities of a team leader, so that the leader will be having a good team under him, and he will be able to give a good efficient work. The people will work in a good manner, so that whatever the deadline is given for the project, and whatever the budget is given for the project, all the team members, if he is having good communication, he is able to solve the different conflicts, he will able to motivate the people, he will able to understand the he will able to improve the people in a good manner, so emotionally also, so that the particular project will be a successful project, in short. Thank you.